Welcome, Risers. It's that time once again for the Agent Rise podcast. I'm your co-host, Neil Mathweg, joined by TJ McGraw and a very special guest in Sue Pinky Benson. Now, this episode was supposed to be released prior to the summit. So you're going to hear in this episode that we're going to invite you to the Agent Rise Summit coming up on the 28th to the 30th. But note to self, that's already passed. Right? So here we are in the middle of May. And again, this episode we wanted released prior to the summit. We didn't quite get there. We had so many episodes to get out and we just didn't quite do it, but no problem. The content is still here for you and you're going to get so much from this episode. And also to note, if you missed the summit, get it on your calendar for next year. It's going to be around the same dates next year, but you don't have to wait till next year to hear from Pinky. We got more of that coming up for you right here in this episode. So without further ado, here is TJ McGraw interviewing Sue Pinky Benson.
Welcome back to the I guess it's a series, a little interview series of all the speakers that are coming to the summit in the end of April. So if you haven't had your tickets yet, get your tickets. If you've been listening to the interviews here, you know that you're going to be missing out if you don't go. So go to agentrise.com/summit, get your tickets, and we'll see you down in Fort Myers at the end of the month. I'm really excited for this interview, and it's someone that I don't think needs an introduction for a lot of agents out there. Sue Pinky Benson,
Jeez.
The Insta famous Pinky.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I sell houses, TJ. I'm just like you. Okay.
I hear you.
Dealing with the craziness of listings and buyers and all the, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's just, so I'm just like everybody else. I just sell houses.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I have a question that I'm going to ask you in just a little bit. But before we do, of course, you're giving a talk about creating content and titled Creating Curiosity and Conversations with Your Content. So just give us the, like a quick summary of what you're going to be telling us about down at the summit.
So social media, my friends, is supposed to be social. And yet we as agents have defaulted to creating, quite frankly, crappy graphics and hoping that people will engage with it. And we don't understand why we're not getting any business. We're not getting any conversations around it. Well, we need to step up our content creation and come from a place of curiosity that starts conversations. And so I'm going to literally take you in and show you what are some of the words you can be using around your graphics? What are the words that you should be using in your video? What are people searching for online that creates content that makes people curious and want to have conversations, which ultimately lead to business?
I'm kind of challenged with when it comes to this, and it's I'll just spill it. I'm challenged with like trying to balance like doing all the stuff as a real estate agent and creating content and videos and all that stuff. So I guess it's a two-part question. What do you see? Because you coach agents as well. And what do you see that's the biggest challenge for agents? And, you know, how do we balance it all?
All right, let's start with the balancing part, because I think the idea of having perfect balance is it's just not going to happen. I mean, there's always going to be, we're going one way or we're going the other way. And I think if we just accept that, like, okay, I'm right now, I'm feeling overwhelmed and I've got to figure out how to get myself back up a little bit, right? Like, it's just what happens in the nature of our business, because our business is so, I might not have a showing tomorrow, and then all of a sudden I have a showing tomorrow, and our days can get so you know. And this year for myself, one of the things that my coach has been really harping on me is time blocking. And I've always time blocked, but not to this extreme where I'm really diligent about it. And that also comes into play with my content. And so I have had to start dedicating time to saying, okay, what am I going to be posting this week? What is that content look like? And where do I need, am I going into Canva to create these graphics? Is it videos? Now, what I'm going to tell you next is from my mentor, Katie Lance, which I'm sure everybody knows who she is. Katie Lance talks about multi-purposing content. And Katie and I have had great conversations around multi-purposing our time creating content. So for example, as a working agent, just like yourself, I was out today on a new listing appointment, right? So we're there to get photos. Now, many agents default and say, oh, that's my photographer's job. No, my friend. If you want content, it is your job to create that content. So I'm going to multi-purpose my time. If I am going there to let the photographer in, I am creating my walkthrough video. I'm creating my Reels videos. I'm creating my upgrade video. I'm creating all kinds of content. If I need to do a live while I'm there, do the live. I am going to take every opportunity I have in those 2 hours that I'm sitting at a listing. I'm not going to be sitting. I'm going to be doing. And I think that if we approach our idea of like, okay, I'm going to create this content, and guess what? You don't have to post it right this very second, and you hold on to it. And then you come back at the end of the week and you say, okay, as I'm creating content for this week, what do I need to promote? I need to promote my new listing that's going live on Tuesday. I need to have that reel ready. And with Instagram, you can schedule out your content, and you can really work on those words that you're using to describe your content, because we don't ever just want to throw something up on social media because it's not going to do what you want it to do. So it's being very purposeful with your time and being purposeful with the content that you're creating, thinking it out and not just throwing things up there. Was that helpful?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, I know that a lot of people everywhere, but especially agents are like, I don't have the time to plan my social media content. So I just kind of do it on the fly. But then they wonder why it kind of flops and it just doesn't really go anywhere.
You have to be more intentional. Yeah. I think if you are already time blocking for your business, so you have a listing appointment, you're going to a listing appointment. Let's say you don't even know if you're getting that listing, but you've already done the work. You already know what the homes are selling for. You know what the amenities of the community are, what the rental policy is, where the location is, what it's close to. Why not schedule yourself an extra 15, 20 minutes for after that listing appointment, going and doing a quick video just talking about the neighborhood? So now you have multi-purposed your time. And guess what? Here's a little secret. Find out what they're searching for online that they have questions around, and create the video that people are searching for about that community that ultimately leads to you. Do you follow me?
Yeah. Answer the questions, basically.
Answer the questions.
Yeah. I love it. So tell me, because I know I mentioned this before, but you do coach agents on this, and you must have some success stories of someone who really was unsure or had a lot of limiting beliefs, and then they kind of broke through, and now they're like really killing it with social media. Do you have somebody in mind that you could tell us a success story?
You know what? I call them my Toodlees. Okay. I call them my Toodlees. And they're anybody that I coach through Instagram, it's actually, I'm not just coaching you on Instagram. It's social media marketing. It's helping you across the platforms to understand how to create better posts, reels, stories that are going to be engaging. But there's been a couple that really have stood out, I know Don in Utah, when he first came to me, he didn't know which end of a camera to use. Like, he had no idea what kind of video to create. And he's really stepped up to the plate. And now, like, from somebody who had no idea how to create a video, he is now going in and doing dual videos where he's removing the background of one video to make it a green screen, not using the green screen app. Or the filter, he's actually going in and removing background. And he's asking me all these advanced questions. So he has gone from, and this is a 60-year-old man. This isn't a 22-year-old or a 30-year-old. This is somebody who was not born with the phone in his hand, and he has learned the process. And it's helping him when he goes on listing appointments to talk about what type of promotions he does beyond just, here's my just listed graphic I'm going to put on social media. I'm also going to be doing this. So Don's just one, but I mean, even for myself, like I know with my Instagram, I just landed just back in November. We already sold it. It was a $2.3 million condo on the beach. And he saw me through Instagram and doing videos. So it does work. It's a consistency thing. If you're doing postcards, what are they going to tell you? You can't mail one postcard to one house one time. You got to keep sending it to the entire neighborhood for a long period of time to be seen. So that's the whole thing with any part of our business, is being consistent. And yet we go and say, oh, I posted one thing and nobody said anything. Okay.
I give up. It didn't work. Yeah. I've been guilty of that for sure. But I think we all have to some degree. But it's good to know. I'm excited because you and most of the other speakers, there's kind of a continuity. They're very different. What you're all going to be teaching is very different, but there's a theme that throughout that is, it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not really instant gratification. And as long as you're consistent and stick to it, then no matter kind of what you're doing, what your niche is, or what your platform of choice is, as long as you're consistent with it, it's going to start bearing fruit. Let me put it this way, because this is a lot of people are afraid of getting on camera, and they don't want to say something that's incorrect and get trolled and all that. So what do you have to, if somebody says like, I don't want to be trolled, I'm afraid that somebody's going to not like my video and, make fun of my beard or whatever it is. Like, what do you say to people that are kind of hesitant because of they're worried about what others are going to think about their videos?
Others already think something of you. I want you to know that. So whether it's a troll or it's a real life person that you may think is your friend, they already have an opinion. They already have something they're saying about you. I think that our hesitations come from our own internal struggles. So first of all, not everyone is going to like you, period. You need to understand and accept that. And if you think everyone needs to like you, that's a lot of mental work that you need to do on yourself. Like, why do you have that limiting belief that everyone has to think you're the best cup of tea out there? You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It's just not going to work that way. You logically know this, and yet you expect that when you go online and you put out something that everyone is going to like you. You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, nor should you want to be everyone's cup of tea. And I think that so much of our hesitations to put ourselves out there on social media are our own insecurities, our own issues. And that's one of the things that I love about the Agent Rise conference. Last year, when I was in the room with Neil, he really digs deep into our whys. What is holding us back? Our mental situation around changes. Like, there's a lot of changes happening right now in our industry. How is that affecting us? Why do we have mental hangups on them? And how do we work through them instead of around them? We've got to work through it to get to the other side. And that can be uncomfortable. But once you get to the other side, you're going to feel amazing. Much like when you go to shoot that first video, you're going to feel awkward. It's going to feel weird. You're not going to feel like you look the right way or you sound the right way. But then when you get to the other side of it, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. And then each time you do it, you're going to get better. So you have to try it, just see. It may not be your cup of tea. Gary Vee says, like, if you don't do video, do a blog post. If you don't do a blog post, do a podcast. Figure out what works for you.
Yeah. And it really is. I'm glad you mentioned that it's the mindset, really, because it's the pushing record on the camera is very simple. It's one of the easiest things you can do. But it's getting past your own thoughts.
We have to confront what is stopping us. And you have to ask yourself the very difficult question of, why do I think this? Why do I believe this? And that's a very deep question when you sit with it.
The best part about what you teach is that you're actually doing the stuff that you teach. So it's not theory, it's in practice. So how are you, this could be a long answer, but give us like a brief. How are you implementing this in your business, and what kind of results are you seeing? I know that could be like I said, a very long answer, but just give us the quick. I know you mentioned you're utilizing time of when you go to see your photographer to let him into a listing. You're using that time to record videos and just being more purposeful and intentional. But how else are you like implementing it, and what are the results you're seeing?
I've been consistently, since I moved to Naples, so I've been an agent 15 years, and I've been consistent with my social media and using video for about 10 years. And when I came to Naples 8 years ago, I had no financial stability, let's say. Like, I had no money to invest in postcards or coaches or anything of that nature, online leads. I only had social media, and it was quote unquote free. And in that time frame, I have learned how to maximize it and use it as a strength in my toolkit for when I'm talking to listings, because now they understand the power of social media. They know that the eyeballs are there, and they need to know more about what I can provide. So I would say that what social media and doing videos for me has done to my business is it gets me in the door, because not every agent is doing what I do. My social media expertise and video expertise gets me in the door that differentiates me from every other agent out there. So no matter what it is that you are going to go all in on, you need to go all in on it and become the expert in that field. So if you're going to do video, like I said, it can't be one video. It's got to be all in on that video. And it could be YouTube if that's your platform. You just got to go all in, my friends, and it will change your business model. I mean, I went from being a struggling agent to an agent who can breathe and enjoy some success. I may not be the number one agent in the entire world, but I have enough success that I have a roof over my head. I can feed my kids, put them through college, and that's what matters to me.
Okay, so before we wrap it up, because I don't want to give away everything that you're going to be talking about. I want people to come down and see you because there's so much more.
We're also on a panel too, and I'll be moderating a panel with some amazing agents talking about branding. And right. I can't wait. Yeah. And here's a little tease. I may on this panel talk about if I could rebrand myself right now, what would my new brand be? I think you'd be really shocked.
That's now I'm really intrigued. That's cool. Thanks for reminding me though. You're right. Pinky is going to be moderating one of the panels with some really awesome people. I mean, there's everybody that's going to be on stage is just super talented and awesome at what they do. And it's going to be a good break for me because I was the moderator. So I'm happy that I can sit back and like listen and learn with everybody else. So I'm excited about that. But before we wrap up here, what can I do, or what can the agents out there listening right now, what can I do today that to get the ball rolling on things? Like what's one action step I could do now while I'm waiting to go see you at the summit?
So here's a little thing. Go into your phone, set a reminder for noon every day that says, what video did I record today? What video did I record? It could be video of the neighborhood that you were in for a listing appointment. It could be video of you talking about the current stats or a current situation that you want to expand upon on your social media. But set the timer on your phone to remind you every day, what video did I shoot today? And then you will start getting in the habit of remembering to create the content. And then you have it in your phone and boom, you're ready for when you need it.
So that's a good tip because it goes back to what you said before, is that you don't have to record and then post it immediately. Like you can stash away clips and then save them for later because, there'll be days that you get super busy and you're like, oh, I got to post something. You can go back into your stash of videos and
exactly.
Really.
Especially like you're going downtown and you're picking up your dry cleaning. You know what? It's noon. I need video. Get video of the downtown area. And then boom, you've got some stats to go over top things people are searching for in downtown Naples. Pull up that video, put up some text. You've got content that people want to see.
Beautiful. Awesome. All right. Well, if you want to hear any more, you got to come down to the summit. Can't say enough. As you know, just in this interview alone, I've said summit. I don't know how many times, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it.
It is worth
Pinky,
it.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to chat with you.
You too, TJ. Can't wait to see you.
And see what I'm saying there, people? Come on. Sue Pinky Benson, bringing the fire like always. Love you, girl. Appreciate you so much. And if you missed the summit, I'm telling you, I'm sorry you missed the summit, but you got to put it in your calendar for next year because I guarantee Sue will be back. I mean, we haven't organized that yet, but I mean, why wouldn't she, right? She's absolutely amazing, brings so much awesome information for us, and there was so many great takeaways from the summit. I think one of the most popular takeaways came from Sue. So again, get that on your calendar for next year so you don't miss it. But thank you so much for listening to this episode, and thank you for listening to the Agent Rise podcast. And like always, remember to be the reason somebody smiles today.